kind of talk us through how that's been, like how it started to where it is now. Obviously, it's always been beautiful for me seeing you and Josie and the kind of the beautiful art project of a festival. It kind of is, so, grow and grow into this huge entity. And now, I mean, you've just announced a Bestival Canada. So, it's a global thing. I've asked a lot of questions there to deal with. So.
No, but I'm glad you called it an art project, because actually in the last couple of years, that's sort of how I've started referring to it, because I've realised that that's kind of what it is. And most of my mates and, Josie and most of my mates are artists. They're either filmmakers or painters or visual artists or something. And I think I was always frustrated at school that I was rubbish at art and not that great at music either. Well, I was actually rubbish at everything. So, but it's all sort of happened accidentally. But I've always loved, that creative thing. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it is putting on a big party, and that's kind of an arty thing. It's like a huge art installation. So
there are always them complete art elements. I remember walking in 2 years ago and seeing the ship. And just being like, wow, they've just built a massive ship in the middle of a field, like a full-size... It's absolutely amazing.
Cruise ship, yeah. Well, I mean, 90% of people that saw that ship that first year and even last year still think that we've craned in a wreck of a ship from somewhere and don't realise that if you stand around the back that it's just like scaffolding and... amazing paintwork and really legendary sort of set building.
It's absolutely insane.
But that's a good example of, and the giant disco ball last year. And
that was an amazing moment as well when that was finally raised. But then previously a Lionel Richie head. Just stuff like that. It's kind of... How does that all come about? Is it all just are you and your friends and Jose and everyone just coming up with these things and going, what insane things can we do this year?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, when we started Bestival 12 years ago, then there weren't that many festivals going, and there was, it's Glastonbury and Reading, and there was like the Phoenix Festival and a few others that aren't going, but there was the Big Chill, Secret Garden was just starting out as well, but there wasn't that much competition, but we were newbies and we needed to make a splash. So we were like, okay, what can we do differently? So, we had the hidden disco, we had the whole fancy dressing up thing, we had the world's smallest disco, and we just thought we need things to make us stand out, and I think that's just carried on because the competition's got fiercer and it's fun, and so it's like people want to see something different, and the disco ball was probably the pinnacle of our achievements in that, because it just totally nailed it. Everyone talked about it all summer, and then it sort of actually had this massive culmination at the festival, and it's going to be really hard to beat because the amount of sort of press and goodwill and sort of feel-good factor that created was just non-stop for us. So.
I was thinking exactly that, because one of the best things, and Bestival and Camp Bestival are two, obviously, when I'm gigging in festival season, there's a lot of festivals, and they're the two that I'll generally stay all weekend. And the Bestival and Camp Bestival closing fireworks have always been an amazing thing, and one of the things you look to. Are they going to be as exciting next year after this year's raising of the disco ball? It's kind of how do you
with
top
Nile
that?
Rodgers introducing the big lift of the disco ball. Well, I think I think we sort of struggled to think, okay, how are we going to better that? But then actually, we don't need to. I think it was a moment in time. I mean, 5 years ago, completely. I was climbing up a huge pile of petrol-soaked wood, dressed as a spaceman, and then pretending to fly off to space, and the whole thing being torched, and me playing out on John's Rocket Man off the top. So, that was an amazing installation. The big burn that year, and so the disco ball will go. For us, will go down in history. It's our own little Bestival history, and it was a great moment. But
This piece of fiction is the intro to distraction pieces. This piece of fiction is the intro to distraction pieces. This piece of fiction is the intro to